look at me, I look like I'm gonna go skateboarding at a lesbian park, but like...
People are so set in their ways. I will always like men. I don't think I'm ever going to like women.
Why would you go on such a huge journey to come out and then retrieve back to the closet? It doesn't understand. Why would you go back to the darkness? Don't do that. Stay in the light. So it's very heartbreaking for me to see an ex-gay. It's so strange. It's like seeing a zebra with spots. It doesn't make any sense to me.
The fact that they would even propose that idea is a result of ignorance in general. I don't believe that homosexuality can be cured. I do believe that you can suppress some of those tendencies, but it's more of, it's basically putting on a facade.
Well, personally, I think the ex-gay movement is it's just so wrong. I think nobody should ever be forced to change who they really are. Nobody ever should experience trying to be taught in a different way than who they really are and what they really like. I do not think that it can be repressed because people are so set in their ways. I will always like men. I don't think I'm ever going to like
No, I do not think it is effective at all. I think it's more of something that kind of makes people, it's like a brainwash kind of thing. It's another way of brainwashing someone to get them to believe that what they are and what they do is wrong.
For the homosexual who is content with his or her sexuality, his pathologist, basically we don't fix what ain't broke. Repression or attempts to change when the individual is not desiring those changes or behaviors or treatment because of that is likely to create some internal turmoil.
You're making it so complicated. Like, just come out and stay out. Like, it doesn't have to be that complicated. He would always say, you know, faggot and things like that in the 6th grade. And this was very strange because I was literally going out with every gorgeous girl in that school. And I made it a duty to do that. So it was very strange, and then somebody told me that he was jealous of all the girls I was getting with. And then I was like, huh. But I don't think that he was gay himself.
I actually had this person who used to go to the same school as me think that he could bully me he bullied me for 4 years, like straight, and he thought that but just because I was gay that he automatically had more authority over me, and he like used to push me up against a wall, try and strangle me, threatened to like attack my family just because he thought, oh, gay people are so inferior and I have so much more power over them that I'm just going to walk all over them and treat them like they don't belong here. And it's just really sad because he happened to turn out gay as well and just didn't know how to deal with being who he was and accepting who he truly is. And he was just angry and frustrated that I was comfortable at like 12 years. I was comfortable when I was 12 years old to be gay, and I didn't really care, and he just didn't know how to embrace who he really was. And he thought that, oh, okay, I'm bigger than this kid, I'm stronger than him, I'm gonna attack him because he's just so happy, and I'm just not.
I've seen a lot of guys like pretend like, oh, that's gross that he's gay, or for example, there's a guy at my school right now, and he ran for president last year, and a guy tweeted or whatever that, because there was him, and then there was the gay guy, and then there was another girl running, and one of his friends tweeted that, oh, let's vote for this guy because we need a real man. So I guess that would be, I don't guess, that would be a form of homophobia to try to get him to seem more masculine because he thinks that a gay guy is less masculine because of his sexual orientation.
Because, you know, there's that whole thing where, you know, you have to be the alpha male. And so, there was a lot of, it wasn't as bad with me because I was kind of like friends with everyone, but there was some instances where people would say things to undermine me, and it was, you know, they'd be sitting on this side of the class and I'd be sitting on this side of the class, and they'd say some homophobic comment or like some stupid thing to get under my skin, and then they would, you know, go over there and laugh with their boys over it, and they'd be like, oh, it's kind of like a point system. Like, if you have a better joke, or if you beat them down more, then you have more points in your masculine card. So,
the homophobic individual, again, when he studies masculinity or hers as defense, but the real feeling is from the heterosexual is actually fear of their sexuality. The reason they respond so much to it, from a heterosexual to a homosexual, is they're not sure about themselves. I mean, who's ever totally sure? Or when someone decides that they are homosexual, most of the time that's somewhat of a relief to them. And whereas the heterosexual never gets that confirmation that, hey, I'm truly a heterosexual, and there's that fear.
Heart is died, you're in ruins.
Jesus never said anything bad about gay people. He never said a single thing about gay people. And all he taught is love. So that's what I choose to believe. And I don't believe God would send someone to hell because of someone who they love. God is all about love.
For example, the religious aspect of society would of course make me contain myself and put some of myself away, if you will.
As a Jew and as a homosexual, it's very hard to live such a life like that, because you have one view, which is a religious view, and then you have your own personal life decision and the route that you're planning on going down and exploring. I've experienced gay Jews in a Reformed synagogue in London, but I've also experienced people who are very homophobic and Jewish in another synagogue in Spain where my grandparents live. There are two different places where people can be strict about gays and non-strict about gays, and people can either accept it or refuse to accept it.
I do believe that you can be religious and homosexual at the same time, because I don't believe that what you believe is going to happen and for when you die, or like the reason for why you're on this earth, that has nothing to do with who you like and who you love and all that kind of stuff. So those are honestly two completely different things, even though a lot of people try to compare them. They're like, you know, saying pray the gay away, all this kind of stuff. You got politicians, whether they believe it or not, they're still saying it. A lot of people try to justify it. A lot of religious people try to justify it. Even not religious people try to justify it too, just because they're so close-minded.
Sin comes from a lust in the heart, and probably a very natural response. I don't know that we can improve on what's going on, either homosexual or heterosexually.
In the 60s, when that new generation popped up, it was all free. There was no rules. You could sleep with whoever you want, whatever color, whatever gender, whatever creed. You could do anything that you wanted, and that was beautiful. But it all disintegrated before their eyes. They saw that they couldn't have nirvana without having some hell. It's very scary to have sex as a gay man, because we're still battling HIV and AIDS. Sex is it's going back to being trivial. Sex should be something that's free.
There are a lot of categories, and everyone just categorized into certain groups. There's a lot of separation when I believe that we should be coming together instead as one.
Well, I do agree that we do live in a society now where being gay has people see it in very different ways.
And there's a lot of more people coming out. You got Ellen DeGeneres that came out, you got Jason Collins that just came out. It has progressed and it has gotten a lot easier for people to come out, but the people that don't understand it and judge it because they don't understand it, I think that has actually gotten worse because it's more out there now and more people come out, so it's around more, so I think it gets judged more. Let's say I lived in the 70s, I probably wouldn't be out right now. So there would be not as many people judging me. So right now there's more people judging me because people do know that I am gay.
So in the future I'd say that being heterosexual is likely to be a non-factor to masculinity. Being gay can be very masculine.
I know for a fact that being heterosexual doesn't mean that you're masculine. Ryan Seacrest.
I need to hear some sounds that recognize the pain in me, yeah.
I don't want to like be offensive or use any terms that I shouldn't, but like just masculine lesbians and
butch.
Yeah, yeah.
But a weird example would be I used to watch The Real World.